What's up guys, Blake Arias here, and today I'm going to be going over my division build, and it's mainly for PvP. I use it in Last Stand. I like the normalization, but it can be used in PvE. I use it in PvE, and I don't know, it's a fun build to use. I do a lot of DPS, I can melt kids, and yeah, let's get into it. Actually, before I start the build, if you're not a sub, you can ignore this completely, but I'll put a time to when the video starts in the description. But sorry for not posting recently. I've kind of run out of inspiration rather suddenly. I'm going to keep posting. My channel won't die, hopefully. I've had, like, I have a bunch of cavities, honestly. It's kind of embarrassing, but I haven't gone to the dentist in a long time, and I eat a lot of candy. So I've had 3 root canals in the past week. So up until the past couple of days, just talking hurts. So painful. But, like, excuses aside, I've got a couple video ideas. I've tried to make a few videos, but my Xbox sucks and it like deleted them or won't save them. So I'm gonna try to get that done. I got a warden guide coming out soon. Hopefully you guys will like that. Sorry for the random Division Overwatch content, but I don't want to burn myself out on For Honor in the first week of it happening. But or first week of it coming out, generally speaking. I know it's been like a month, but still. All right. That out of the way. Let's get into it. So, I like using the Liberator. You can use the FAMAS. The FAMAS, honestly, or the Bulldog, excuse me, probably has more potential DPS because, honestly, like with this amount of firearms, the scaling for the 15% goes up. Like, it's still 15%, but obviously the higher base damage, the higher damage that 15% will translate to. So, when you're at 6,000 firearms and above, it can put out some massive damage, and I have a pretty god roll. I love it. But I do like the Liberator. I don't know, I like the Liberator Centurion combo. It's just fun to use. So I'll go into the weapons first. On my Liberator, I have Responsive, Deadly, and Competent. I'm trying to roll Deadly into Unforgiving, but I have a lack of Phoenix credits. But until then, Deadly is just fine. My mods on it, this works for the FAMAS as well. This is the same thing. I have Crit Chance as a main slot, and then Crit Damage, and then Crit Damage. The magazine, obviously, the trifecta of magazine size, rate of fire, and crit chance. That will do you so many services. The DPS looks rather low at 322,000, but that doesn't account for responsive, that doesn't account for competence, and that doesn't account for Savage Gloves, which I'll also get into. FAMAS, obviously, same thing. Centurion, I don't really use it often, but I'd like to roll headshot damage on that when I have a chance, because obviously the Centurion perk, you get bonus headshot damage. Woohoo! Alright, into gear. On the chest piece, obviously you want health rolled. Yeah, just to state this, health rolled on chest piece, backpack, holster, and knee pads. The holster is kind of optional because it's a lower stat, but that will give you so much toughness. So anyways, so I want health, enemy armor damage, because really there's nothing better in that slot. If you're going PvE, I think you can get damage to elites, but it's fine. Ammo capacity is fine. Toughness is not 100% necessary. If you're going for a glass cannon build, you're going to want nothing but firearms, and this build will melt kids. But yeah, so the chest piece is fine. And then as for mods, I've got 1 stamina and 1 firearms. I want my toughness to be at least 330 without normalization, because obviously with normalization it gets boosted up due to the armor factor and because all the stats are pushed to high. So that's the chest. For the mask, I like to run refresh because it works for medkits and healing. And medkits works well with the talent I use under my skill talents, and it just works well. It's where you get the damage resistance. I'll go over that later. But on the mask, crit chance or skill power, preferably crit chance. And then in minor attributes, you can go damage to elites, but it doesn't really matter, and that's only if you're playing PvE. For the knee pads, you're gonna want, again, if you're going pure DPS build, firearms, but if not, some stamina is nice. You want to roll for health, then you can get damage elites again under minor attributes. That's always nice. Burn resistance is really useful right now. Shock resistance would be good too, with all the Seeker Mind spam that's going on. Holster, you can go skill haste if that's your thing. Crit chance also is pretty good. But I'd like to go health, just give me that extra little boost. I read somewhere that every 15,000 health rolled, you know how a chest piece has 16,000 health, every 15,000 health translates to 1,000 in the stamina stat. So take that for what it's worth. Oh, I forgot on knee pads for the mods. You're going to want just anything. Well, if you're going for firearms, go firearms. If you want to be a tank, go stamina. Every one of your mods should have either health rolled or like skill power rolled on it. Like if it's got crit chance, that can be good if you're using a sub, but plus 3,000 health, if you have that on every one of your mods, it'll translate to another 1,000 stamina at the end of the day. For the optional mods, I prefer First Aid Self Heal because I'm a selfish player and I like to stay alive. Savage Gloves are probably the best gloves in the game. I have a God Roll, almost max assault rifle damage, crit hit damage, and crit hit chance with a really well rolled firearm. That might, no, it's like 5 off of max. These are going to increase my DPS, hon. So it's 322,000 right now. If I were to take these off, it'd be 290. Oh, wait, hon. I gotta find, yeah, 293,000. That's still with the firearms in there. It's just, it's so good. You can't pass it up. In terms of backpack, specialized backpack helps for me because, again, I like the heal. I like to save myself. Ideally, instead of skill power at the bottom, I would have plus health, but I got these and I can't pass them up. Too good. They're so good. I love them. The stamina mod, again, you want plus health. You can have firearms if you want, but plus health is the important thing. And then first aid self-heal. You might be wondering why I'm not running 4-piece predators, and the fact is, I'm only running 3-piece so I get that assault rifle damage. 4-piece predators is nice, but really it doesn't come into play enough for it to make a difference. So instead, I opt out of using the Predator's Mark backpack, and instead I use the Spec Ops backpack. Alright, moving over to skills, I like to run Pulse. You should be running Scrambler, probably, but I don't know, I like running Tactical Scanner just for the boost in damage. First Aid Self-Heal is my way to go because I like getting that just pretty much full heal when I'm in the last segment of my health bar due to the refreshed mask, but since I do have generally high skill power or for a DPS build anyways, and I have the refresh mask on, booster shot really won't hurt you. For talents, this is where I get interesting. Not many people like tactical advance, but honestly, I love it. If before an engagement, if you get a flank, if you go to cover and run 20 meters to another cover, that's an easy 40% damage. That is amazing. You could melt whoever's in your way real quick. It only lasts 5 seconds, but that's more than enough to put down a magazine and destroy whoever's fighting you. On the move, whenever you put someone down in last stand, if you kill them with your weapon while you're moving, like down them and then actually finish them off with your weapon rather than hitting them with the butt of your rifle, that will give you 15% damage resistance for 10 seconds. That really helps for 1v2s or 1v3s. Stacking damage resistance, this is where the refresh mask also comes into play. Using a medkit while on low health, i.e. less than 30%, gives you 20% damage resistance for 10 seconds. So, when you use a medkit, you get 30% bonus healing plus 20% damage resistance if you use it in the last segment. Now, I like Strike Back because I go on low health a lot, and then cooldowns reduced by 20 is always good. So yeah, that's the, I run tech also because I'm an asshole. If you're playing as a team, I recommend Triage or Combat Medic. Combat Medic is an amazing perk. You should always run it, but again, I'm a selfish dick and I play alone, so I'm going for pure survivability and DPS. And so yeah, that's my build. I can post gameplay. If the comments are good, I'll make like a little montage type deal. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next video.